Hey, yo everyone. I hope everyone's doing fantastic this week and will have a fantastic weekend. I am having a great weekend. So, this video is going to be really long. I don't want to or focus too much on this box in particular. I had to redo my intro. So, this is going to be my multiple takes after. But that's why my later in the video you'll see that it's zoomed out for the second box inside. That is because I messed up my intro and I didn't even realize it. So we'll get straight into the video and I'll come back into the second box inside this box. See you in a bit. Alrighty, so we're back. And this is the box that's inside the box that we will open inside the box. So sorry for the reflection here. It's just the ring light that I have. But starting it off, let me get it straight. There we go. Top left corner, Transformers. Says more than meets the eye. Pretty neat, pretty neat. Takara Tomy. You have Shockwave, Megatron. It does come with Laserbeak, so that's kind of neat. And then Soundwave. Dramatic Capture Series. Nemesis Bridge. Honestly, sick cover. This is honestly, it's a slip-on. So you can just slip this out and then it'll come out. Now, this is my first Transformers that's like this. Most of the stuff that I've gone from Target aren't similar. I have a whole bunch of Grimlocks, but none of them had this packaging. I'm not too keen on the Transformer, figures. All I know is just Soundwave and Shockwave, or not Shockwave, Grimlock. But you have Shockwave, more detail shots. You have Megatron, then Soundwave. You can see Megatron with his transforming mode into a tank. I honestly like this tank. I would prefer his original, but clearly can't really have him as a gun. But him being a tank is pretty neat. Although I do like his Cybertronian Michael Bay jet or ship, whichever one it is. Then you have Shockwave's hovercraft is what I was told. It is but I was also told another thing. If you flip it, it turns into a gun or like an alien gun. That's another here nor there kind of thing. Then you have Soundwave and his cassette. I love his cassette. It's so cool. His cassette is his bot mode, and then Laserbeak, and then the throne for Megatron. This is the same throne that has been used with the Coronation Starscream. So if you're only looking for this, it's best just to get a loose one. Is the exact same thing, so you won't be missing anything. The only new figures I'm aware is the Soundwave, Shockwave, and the Megatron. Although, as far as I was told, Megatron and Shockwave have the Siege body, and this is the Netflix body for Soundwave. So these have different colors, just same body mold, just different colors. Pretty much everything here is a reuse mold, just different deco. So let's get into this box, or pretty much take off the slip cover, and yeah, honestly I might hang it up on my wall. It is a pretty neat poster. So take this off. Box after box. Okay, so this is the slip cover off. Really nice. I mean, I know this is the Decepticon symbol. All this right here, I'm not too sure what it is. If anyone in the comments wants to let me know. I mean, I'm assuming it's a Cybertronian ship of some kind for the Decepticons, considering that it's a Decepticon pack. But if I'm wrong, please tell me. This is the top, same as the sides. Yep. Here too. Yep. So, it's so loud. My bad. Hopefully it's not picking up any of that woody box noise. I don't know what this is. It looks like a grid. I mean, obviously the lines here, but I'm not too sure. It could be just a box. Maybe they just come out of hyperspace of some kind, and then, yeah. Let's take out the figures. Alright. I have a bad luck of holding this stuff, or it's stuff falling out. But it looks like it's rubber band anyways. So, when you take off the cover of this box, this brown box here, you are shown every figure. You have the throne. You have the, I want to say, a spear for. No, actually, no, this is the cannon for Megatron's tank, but you can use it as a spear the way it's shaped. Actually, I don't know. I don't think you can. Weird. You have Megatron, you have Shockwave, and then you have Soundwave. So we'll, and then you have Laserbeak down here. Cute. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, these cassettes are super adorable. I just got Rumble in the mail yesterday or Saturday, and their size, their core class size, is just so adorable when it's standing next to, a big transformer like Grimlock. So I just think it's so adorable. So let's take off the plastic and we'll get these transformed and kind of give my review on it. All right, we're done. I was panting earlier, but it was such a pain taking these figures out of the plastic. For whatever reason, it seemed as if Takara didn't want anyone taking these things out of the box or whatever. It was almost as if I was trying to break off cement, like pieces of rock. I was scared that I was going to break the arms on all of these, just given how snug or way too, not that they were stuck in there, but kind of, but the plastic was way too hard and rigid that you couldn't really, gently pull these out. You actually had to beat in the little notches that they're behind by and take them out that way, but it was just way too hard. But I got all the accessories out. We'll start getting to the figures. We'll start out with Shockwave. So, first impressions with Shockwave, I was messing with him and his head his eye starts gleaming, if that's a word. Starts to beam yellow and it just looks really nice under the light. You can kind of see it because the light's kind of coming down here. But oh my god, yeah, just messing with the head in different angles. In camera doesn't pick it up, but in person it does. It really shines. So I think this is a figure you want to have an overhead light to where the light bounces off, comes out. It's really nice though. So in terms of articulation though, he goes that far up if you ever need him to. Same thing with his arms. That far. They do 360, but on this arm you don't want to do that given the I'm assuming laser beam feeder for his laser beam hand. They all do have a hinge on the elbows, bicep swivel on both hands. This one does have a swivel as well as this hand. So it's really neat. Waist swivel, hinge side to side for the legs, but ratchet for the forward and back. Thigh swivel on both legs, ratchet knees, and then there's a hinge on the legs on both of them. So really cool figure. The paint, I mean, not bad honestly. This is the first Shockwave that I've ever held in my hand. So let me get him standing straight. Kind of a little bit more of a heroic posing. But in terms of paint, I mean, not bad. I know this one out of the three had the least amount of yellowing problems. So I'm very curious to see what these two or how long they will last with the yellowing. But I've heard these should be fixed. But that's another story. But yeah, I mean, doesn't have a lot of paint. It's just a bunch of, solid colors like the purple, the gray. And yeah, I mean, he doesn't use a lot of colors anyways. Most of the time he's usually purple, like a dark purplish blue and gray. As far as I could remember, like I said, I don't know too much about the lore in terms of certain Transformers. But in terms of Shockwave, I know He's just a purple dude with high-tech stuff because he is a scientist. So, yeah, I think this little eye, what do you call it, like piece of plastic there, really shines in person. So that's cool. Put this to the side. So I want to review Soundwave, but I want to hold him to the very end. He's one of my favorites. Besides Grimlock, I'm gonna keep the second one to Megatron. So let's take Megatron off his throne. Honestly, his throne is very much like the coronation Starscream, so I mean, you're not really missing much. It's all purple, hollow in the back. It's pretty much it. Decepticon symbol. Man. But Megatron, though, I've always loved Megatron's like scope blaster. Something about it is just very vintage of Megatron. And call me a nostalgic weirdo, but like the 80s versions of the Transformers are just top tier. And you know, especially Soundwave and Grimlock, but everyone else pretty much, I was just so simple and clean. I know, obviously. Sorry about that. I heard noises outside. So, yes, this is Megatron. Paint. I mean, he uses a bunch of silver and a bunch of gunmetal. This transition though kind of got me off. It didn't caught me off guard because it's not on camera. I can see on camera that it's two shades, but the lighting gave it that illusion. But yes, I've heard though people don't like this version of Megatron. Just his face. He has apparently a weird forehead. I don't get it, to be honest. But I think it's real nice though. It's clean cut, and I really love the way that red is popping. But enough about the looks. We'll talk about the articulation. And here's kind of something that okay, no, never mind. Just popped it back in. Oops. So shoulders can do that much. You can do 360 on the arms. He has hinges on the arms. Oh. I'm assuming whoever packaged this didn't click everything in. He has elbow swivel, which is not a bicep swivel, but fair enough. It has a hinge elbows on both sides. Oop, knocking over the camera. Does not have rotate or swivel hands, but that's okay though. He has waist swivel, but it's kind of hard to move him because when you move him, you have to get your finger under here, and if you have chunky fingers, it's going to be a little bit difficult to get under that. So, he has thigh swivel, both legs, hinge knees, and hinge legs, but they're not side to side feet. So that kind of sucks, but not too worried. Not too bad though. He still stands normal. But yeah, this is Megatron. Kind of keep it simple and sweet. So paint, really nice. I really love the gunmetal, or not even gunmetal, the silver paint on him. He does have gunmetal paint on his shins and side of the tank, but I feel like most of the paint's gonna be applied on the exposing areas of the tank. So even on his feet, he has a tone of gunmetal right here, and then silver, and it's gunmetal again here. No, it's silver. Okay, so we'll put this guy back sitting down, and we'll move to Soundwave. So give me 1 second. All right, Soundwave, one of my favorites. Now, when I first bought this pack, I was scared that he was going to be prone to yellowing, and I guess it's too soon to tell whether or not that is the case. But from the looks of it, I mean, he looks fine. I'm glad that, I hope they use different materials fingers crossed. Oh, what was this? Fingers crossed that they did. Got a little boat right here. But yeah, I enjoy that they gave him Laserbeak. I feel like we've gotten plenty of Laserbeaks, so I wish they would have added a different cassette, but we'll put him down. Or actually, we'll put him to the side and then we'll talk about Laserbeak real quick. This is a simple core class. Nothing too big. I mean, he's just a simple bird. Or, no, he's not a bird. He's a condor. That's what he is. It's a condor. But paint, though. This is really nice paint. I wanted, like, these small... You know what? I'm going to pull out Rumble, which is adorable compared to Soundwave. He doesn't have a lot of paint, and he's originally supposed to be red, but they made him blue for whatever reason. He doesn't have a lot of paint. Now, I do wish that Hasbro or Takara do kind of have consistency when it comes to their paint applications on certain core class characters. Because I know Frenzy is exactly the same as Rumble. Not a lot of paint, but I mean, Laserbeak though, I guess because Laserbeak is a more popular cassette that is used by Soundwave along with Ravage, he's gonna have a lot more paint on him. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. One of the things you can't really complain about. But I mean, you can complain about it, but it's not like, you know, they may or may not listen. But do kind of a close-up shot. I do like the articulation on the head though. It's just very menacing. And this piece right here is what you pop out so you can put on to Soundwave's arm. And along with Megatron, I think. Does he have? He does have. You put him in there and then you can have him either chilling with Soundwave or Megatron. But that is Laserbeak. Paint in the middle of the head is pretty nice. I think this is a sticker. Yeah, this is a sticker. He uses gunmetal too on his little rocket firing or jetpack. Yeah, I think that's a jetpack. We'll put him down. Chillax next to my boy Megatron and Shockwave. So, articulation on Soundwave. That much. He does have a head. Sits on a head ball joint. This does move. He has bicep swivel. Feels like a kind of a ratchet bicep on both sides. He has a hinge. Wow, a double jointed. Okay, I'm not gonna mess with it. Goku kind of traumatized me with it breaking on the double jointed elbows, so I'm not gonna test this one. If anyone has experienced that, please let me know. So he does not have hand swivel, so that is okay. He does have a unique hand though. If you've noticed, that's his pressing down the open for his cassette player or opening tray. So that's very neat. He does have a waist swivel, thigh swivel on both sides, hinge knees, and then sits with a hinge feet. So not a ball joint there. Have him standing up. So the paint in the tray of the Netflix one and here on this one has two consistent colors on, and I know it's a nitpick, but to me it matters because you're paying a certain price for Transformers or any figure. You want the paint to be consistent. In the Netflix one, the paint on the outer tray border is a much more, if you remember, brighter yellow compared to the outside tray. Like there's little 4 markings. On the Netflix one, it's light and then it's dark. On this one, it's gold and gold, which I am glad because even down here it's gold and here it's gold. So it's real. I enjoy that. I enjoy that they decided to do that. The blue though is a little bit more darker compared to the Netflix one, because I think the Netflix one is a little bit more brighter, but I want to say this is a lot more representative of the Masterpiece Soundwave, which I love the Masterpiece Soundwave. One of these days I'll get it. My brother has one. I might buy it off of him. Who knows? I just don't have the space for it right now, so I better just to keep it with him displayed, and then later I'll pick it up or buy it from him. But yes, paint. He has some silver on his arms as well as the insides of his legs here. He does have it on his feet, which is very nice. Although I do wish they added the silver paint in his legs, which is for sure prevention to yellowing, because the plastic is the one yellowing and not the paint. But if I ever need to, I can obviously paint these myself if I ever need to, but hoping that is never the case. Yeah, I mean, out of all of these, I think Soundwave, and it could be because I'm biased, Soundwave has the best paint. So we will transform all of these and we'll get them into their hovercraft, tank, and then cassette mode. And I'll put in my boy Laserbeak in the cassette. So I'll be right back, and hopefully I can edit this to where it's speed running it. If not, then I'll just have to cut everything out and then go from there. All right, transformed everything. It took me a little bit longer than I expected. I like to build Legos, but I've never really had to deal with Transformers, only because I never really bought them. As a kid. I mean, I had a couple. I had a Revenge of the Fallen, Optimus Prime, and then the Transformers, the first movie, Jazz, and then Bumblebee. But honestly, those were the only three that I've ever owned. That was like more than 10 years ago. So, yeah, so it's a little bit different. But overall, the one that I enjoyed building the most was Shockwave. Second would be Soundwave. And the third, Megatron. Megatron, in my opinion, was probably the worst one I've ever... worst one. Is out of the three, the worst one to transform. Only because you have to... It feels like you're bending the plastic. And I don't like that feeling. You have to kind of bend some parts. Not bend them, but you have to force some parts in. And then it just feels weird when they make a clicking noise. And you think you broke it, but then you didn't. I don't know. I just don't like that feeling personally. It could be different from everyone else, or to anyone else. But overall, Shockwave was the most enjoyable to build. But then I've noticed, though, with Soundwave, he is a little bit weird. I say that only because it's weird in the back. And I know most of the accessories are supposed to go in the back, but it just feels a little wonky. It feels like you're playing a game, or like a DS game, and this back here is all, the power and all that, and the screen here. But I don't know, just something about it looks weird. Although when I did have this, I had a little bit hard time. When I first made Laserbeak into cassette, he didn't go in properly. Like it would go, but then get stuck here, only because he's getting stuck by the foot of Laserbeak. This little notch, or not notch, this little tab. So when you click it, it releases it. So you kind of have to, not play with it, but mess with it just a little bit. Yeah, like right now, I'm a little different. There we go. You have to have Laserbeak perfectly in there, or he won't come out properly. But I'm gonna display him without the cassettes in there. So yeah, that is the entirety of the Transformer lineup, or not lineup, but Nemesis bridge. Come on, get in frame. There we go. My opinions, the only beneficial thing here is Soundwave, in my opinion. Only because the previous the previous Soundwave we have is the Netflix one, and that is very pricey to get. So if you're gonna spend 150 bucks on just one figure, might as well just get this. Although they don't sell them anymore, or not anymore, but you would have to wait for a restock, and we don't really know. We don't really know when that is. So, in my opinion, if you can snatch this for maybe 120 bucks, maybe less, I got this at 120. There is no doubt that they're gonna sell this for a higher price. So, in my opinion, get this at a really good deal, at least close to maybe retail. If you can find them loose, great, because I'm pretty sure people are gonna be selling them individually. But Soundwave, in my opinion, is worth it. Thankfully, I have two other people or one other person to split who are willing to buy these two from me, so I'm not really losing any money. But I know to one person, it's kind of a deal breaker. So thank you for listening to my first Transformers video. Hopefully, I come out with more. But the only figures that I'll be ever, reviewing are probably Grimlock and Soundwave. And I am really I do, although, have Optimus Prime, the Earthrise Prime, and the Shattered Glass Prime. So be on the lookout for that. That's gonna come out later this year on BBTS. They're still on pre-order, so if you are interested, go ahead and get one. I am for sure getting one. But this is a long video. I'm gonna go ahead and end it. But yes, I next week I will be posting a Dragon Ball related video, so be on the lookout for that. I hope everyone has a great weekend. I hope everyone enjoys this video, and I'll see you next cassette.